All right, let's dive in. Today, we are going to build a brand new operating system for your mind. Seriously. If you've ever felt like you're just spinning your wheels at work, constantly busy but getting nowhere, then this is the mental upgrade you've been waiting for. It's a system designed for focus, for calm, and for performance that you can actually sustain.
So, does this sound familiar? You're putting in the extra hours, you're pushing through that feeling of exhaustion, but your to-do list just keeps getting longer. It feels like you're working harder than ever, but falling further and further behind. It's a super frustrating cycle, right? Well, it turns out you're not imagining it. And there's a really clear biological reason this keeps happening.
You see, you're not lazy and you're not inefficient. You're just running on outdated software. The whole marathon approach to work, that old grind-it-out mindset, it was never designed for the way our brains are actually wired. So today, we're doing a full system upgrade. We're going to install a proactive structure for your day, a reactive tool for when things go wrong, and a foundational mindset to protect the whole thing. Okay, first up, let's lay out the blueprint. This is the core architecture of our new system. And let's be clear, this isn't about some simple little productivity hack. Nope. This is about fundamentally redesigning your workday to align with your brain's own natural biological rhythm. And the science behind this is actually pretty cool. Our brains run on something called ultradian rhythms. Just imagine your ability to focus comes in waves, about 90 minutes long. You hit a peak of high energy and focus, and then you naturally need to dip down to recover. Trying to power through past that 90-minute mark doesn't make you a hero. It just forces your brain into an inefficient, low-power mode where you're way more likely to make mistakes. This right here is the fundamental shift in thinking. The old marathon mindset we were all taught just tells you to run and run and run until you collapse. But the cyclical mindset, the one based on how your body actually works, it understands that peak performance comes from short, focused sprints followed by intentional recovery. It is literally the difference between fighting your own biology and finally working with it. So what does this actually look like in practice? It's simple. A 90-minute distraction-free sprint where you focus on one thing. That's followed by a deliberate 15 to 20-minute break to recover. And then you just repeat the cycle. And that recovery phase, it isn't a luxury. It's not optional. It is the non-negotiable part of the system that recharges your brain and makes the next 90-minute sprint of deep focus even possible. And if you're a little skeptical, I get it, but the numbers don't lie. Studies show that people who adopt these kinds of structured break systems see their productivity shoot up by as much as 41%. Think about that. That's a massive gain, and it's not from working more hours, but from working smarter with the hours you have. Okay, so we've got our daily blueprint. That's great. But we all know that no plan survives contact with reality, right? What happens when your perfectly structured day gets completely derailed by a crisis? You know, that urgent email, that last-minute demand? Well, for that, our new operating system needs a built-in error handler. Oh yeah. We've all seen an email with a subject line just like this. And what happens instantly? Your heart starts pounding, your shoulders tense up, your brain's ancient fight-or-flight alarm system just gets triggered. Your first instinct is to just react, usually in a state of total panic. But our new OS has a very specific tool designed for this exact moment. It's called the STOP technique. Before you fire off that frantic reply, you just stop, literally freeze. Then you take one single conscious breath. The sources recommend breathing in for 4 seconds, holding for 2, and then slowly exhaling for 6. Next, you just observe what's happening. Notice your racing thoughts, that tension in your neck, and then, only then, do you proceed. But now you're making a conscious choice, not having a panicked reaction. So why does this one little trick work so well? Well, that single intentional breath acts like a circuit breaker for your brain's automatic stress response. It physically activates your body's rest and digest system, which pulls you out of that reactive panic and allows your rational, thinking brain to come back online, so you can handle the situation calmly and effectively. So we have our proactive daily structure and a reactive tool for crises. Awesome. But for any operating system to run smoothly day in and day out, it needs a really strong foundation. Think of this next part as the security software, the antivirus program that protects your mind from the daily malware of stress and distraction. And this all starts with a super crucial distinction. Not all breaks are created equal. Bad breaks, like doom scrolling social media or, clearing out stressful emails, they just keep your brain in that same state of high alert. Good breaks, the kind our system needs, involve a genuine disconnect. We're talking a short walk outside, making a cup of tea without your phone, a true digital detox. These are the activities that actually restore your mental energy. And the other critical piece of this foundation is boundaries. Think of these as your system's firewall. Time boundaries protect your precious recovery periods. Digital boundaries, like turning off notifications, stop that constant flood of interruptions. And emotional boundaries, giving yourself permission to say no. They protect your energy from being drained by things that aren't your priority. You know, for a lot of us, this is the hardest part, but it's a huge mindset shift. Setting boundaries isn't about being selfish or shutting people out. It's about protecting your single most valuable professional asset, your mind. It's what ensures you actually have the energy and focus to give your absolute best to the people and the projects that truly matter. So, let's put it all together. Let's zoom out and take a look at the complete integrated system we've just designed for managing the modern mind. And here it is, your new mental OS. Your proactive scheduler is the 90-minute cycle, which aligns your day with your brain's natural energy rhythms. Your reactive error handler, for any unexpected stress, is the simple STOP technique. And your foundational security system is a deep commitment to true recovery and strong boundaries. When you put them all together, they create a powerful and, most importantly, a sustainable way to work and live. You know, in the end, this system isn't really about just getting more done. It's about changing your entire relationship with your work and with your own mind. So the real question to leave you with is this: what could you create? What problems could you solve? What would become possible if your brain was finally working with you as your greatest ally at its full, focused, and calm potential every single day?